In today's video, we're going to look at where we are in the cycle, not just time-wise or price-wise, but also just to look at the sentiment. We're going to look at some headlines, what is happening and recently, and we're going to look at some market caps and basically try and decide, where are we in the cycle and how much longer do we have to go before this crypto bull run is going to end. What's up guys, Dirk here from intelligentcryptocurrency.com. Today it is April the 3rd. If you are new to this channel, hit the subscribe button, click the notification bell so that you do get updates whenever I upload a new video. And if you would like me to send you an email every time I upload a video, all you need to do to get on my email list is go and sign up for my free crypto masterclass. It's the first link in the description below. Sign up for that. When you get on there, you also get on my email list, and then I'll send you an email every time I upload a video to let you know that there is something new to watch. Alright, so starting out, we are at almost $2 trillion for the cryptocurrency market cap as a whole. We came very, very close to 2 trillion. Maybe by the time you're watching it'll be higher, be lower, who knows. But we're basically at $2 trillion, which is absolutely insane. The crypto market cap peaked out at around 850 billion in the last bull run in 2017. So we are more than 2x the previous high already, which is really, really nice to see. And I think we have a lot higher to go. But obviously, the higher that we go, the closer we get to a bull run. So we have to try and understand where are we at, because what happened at the end of the 2017 bull run, we had this huge boom and then we had a drop by 80, 90%, even as high as 99% for a lot of coins. And that was obviously brutal, because if you buy in towards the top and you hold that, you're going to lose a huge amount of your portfolio value. Now, obviously, you can argue if you would have held on for 3 or 4 years, it would have all come back. Even if you bought Bitcoin at the very top of $20,000, if you would have held that for until now, you would be up still 3x, right? So there is an argument for buy and hold, but for a lot of altcoins, some altcoins completely disappeared. Some exit scammed, some just stopped developing, some are gone, some are dead, right? So you have to be very careful with which coins you're going to buy and hold for the long term. And in my opinion, most altcoins are not going to be worth holding on past this bull run, because I simply think they're not going to survive. I think there's going to be a regulation that will come in the next few years that is going to make it probably impossible for many of these thousands of altcoins to actually be listed on centralized exchanges. I think there will be strict requirements that to be able to be listed on some sort of centralized exchange, and basically the authorities can put pressure on these centralized exchanges. If coins don't meet the requirements, well, then the centralized exchanges have to delist them. Otherwise, they risk, not being able to do business in that country. So it's going to be very easy, actually, for this regulation to cause a lot of these coins not to be able to be traded. And sure, you can say there's decentralized exchanges and things like that, but the fact of the matter is that most of the volume is still happening on centralized exchanges, and most regular retail investors go and use centralized exchanges to buy coins. So if a coin is not trading on a big centralized exchange, it really limits the potential for that coin's future success, in my opinion. So that's why I'm saying you want to be very careful which coins you're going to hold past this bull run, if any at all. And that's why it's important to understand where we are in the cycle, because at some point when the bull run is done, I think we are going to get another big crash. Now, whether that's going to be 50 or 60%, or if it's going to be the same as last time, and we're going to see 70, 80, 90% on many altcoins, including Bitcoin also, if we're going to see that, obviously it would be much nicer to be able to sidestep that, reduce positions, take profit, and then buy back in after the crash again, right? But at the same time, you don't want to sell too early, because if there is still a huge parabolic gain coming and we still have 5 to 10x or maybe more on many coins, then obviously selling too early leaves a lot on the table. So it is a delicate balance, and that's why I make these videos, to try and see, where are we at. So let's start off with the crypto fear and greed index. It is currently sitting at 73, which is greed. Obviously, we're in a bull market, so it should be green. There's nothing too extreme. That was last month, but now we're just sitting at regular greed, which means there's still potential for upside. And you can see over here, the fear and greed index maximum over here since 2018. We're sitting in the upper range over here. So I guess that's part of a bull run. Nothing too crazy at this point in time. So that's good. We need a bit of greed, but we don't need that extreme euphoria mania just yet, because once it gets to that, obviously then we get closer and closer to this all being over, and I don't think we are in the euphoria mania phase just yet, but we are progressing through the cycle. Let's pull up the Wall Street cheat sheet. You're probably familiar with this, but you know, it always remains a guess. But so far, we've been following this pretty well, and my guess would be, if you see how this goes, and this is obviously for all market cycles, but very much applies to crypto too. And I think we're currently around the belief phase. I don't think we're in the thrill or euphoria phase just yet. I don't think, even though the crypto market has gone up a lot, I don't think we've seen that similar euphoria mania that we saw at the end of 2017. I don't think we're there yet, so that's still coming. But I do think we are somewhere in the middle or past the middle of this bull run, and we are somewhere in the belief phase. So I want to keep an eye on this, especially once we get to the thrill and euphoria, when I think it's really getting there, or when you think it's getting there. That is going to be the time to really start taking profits, take initial, reduce position, because at some point we are going to get this. We're going to get a huge pullback, you know, a relief rally, and then a continuation, and that's when we move into the bear market. Now, when that's going to happen, I don't know, right? It could be in a few weeks from now, it could be in a few months, it could be at the end of the year. But at some point, we are going to complete the cycle, and we're going to cross over into the new bear market. Then looking at the other classic market cycle chart, similar to the Wall Street cheat sheet, but just different names here. But basically the greed delusion new paradigm phase, that is obviously where you want to be looking to sell, reduce positions, take profits. And I would say, okay, so we had this, I made a video a couple of weeks ago about the first sell-off, the bear trap. That was, I think, when we went from 42,000 to lower. We had the media attention. I think here, again, we're somewhere between enthusiasm and greed. I'm seeing a lot more people starting to get interested in crypto and starting to want to put more money in and starting to calculate, you know, if we do a 5 or 10x, maybe I can quit my job, that kind of thing. So we are getting towards the later stages of the cycle. Now, again, I don't think we are at the delusion phase just yet, but I would say high enthusiasm, maybe early greed, which means, you know, it's hard to say how long this is still going to take. Like I said, it could take a couple weeks and it could really go crazy and just pump like crazy, or it could still take the rest of the year. But we are moving towards this, and again, at some point, it's going to be done. The delusion and the new paradigm phase is going to be done. It's going to start selling off, and this is the scary part, because it's the denial, right? We get a big pullback, and we start thinking, oh, it's just another dip. It's going to go back up again, because, you know, in bull runs, you get 20, 30, 40% dips quite regularly. So the hard part is to distinguish, is this another 30 or 40% dip, or is it the start of the bull run, right? And this is the dangerous one. So we get the sell-off and we get a relief rally, and this is where we're going to think, hey, it's going to continue going higher and make a new high. And if you haven't gotten out at this point, or you haven't recognized that this is a relief rally, and then it goes to the next leg lower, that is when everyone gets caught, because by that point, you know, we're down 40-50% before people start to realize, hey, this is maybe a bear market, 60% or 70%. And at that point, the loss is already so big that, you know, it becomes really hard to make a decision. That's why we're preemptively looking at these cycles and trying to guess where we are, because it's much better to take profits on the way up here in the delusion phase, the greed and delusion, to sell into that greed and delusion. Even if you're going to be selling a little bit too early, that's completely fine, because if we're going to get a 50 to 90% drop, even if you sell somewhere here, you're going to be able to buy much lower, you know, in the coming months, or maybe in a year or two, and that's obviously what we'd like to try and do. So we are definitely progressing in the cycles, and what we're seeing now is we're starting to see a lot more public figures and celebrities and influencers get into crypto. We saw the same thing towards the end of 2017 with the bull run. We saw celebrities like Floyd Mayweather, DJ Khaled. They were actually, you know, mentioning ICOs, whether they were paid for it or not. I think they got in some trouble with the SEC and stuff like that for it. But basically, that's what we start seeing towards the end of the mania. I'm starting to see it a lot more, influential figures. Now we have Paris Hilton, who is getting into Bitcoin, right? And obviously, to be fair, she's been into it for a while, but it's getting a lot more attention now, right? So she made the little laser eyes on her profile picture. which is obviously a big trend on social media, on Twitter, especially for people staying focused on Bitcoin going to 100K and more. So she's joining that movement. You can see here she's on CNBC. This was on April the 2nd, talking about NFTs, Bitcoin, and other investment projects. Right? So not to bash on Paris Hilton or anything like that. I think it's awesome if she got in early and she's trying to take this tech and this new space and try and combine it with her existing business. That's awesome, right? But I'm just trying to talk about the point of celebrities and influencers now getting into this more and more, and just using her as an example here. But that is what tends to happen towards the end stages. So we're definitely progressing in the bull run, and we've gone from crypto being down and not exciting to now influencers, celebrities wanting to get on board, starting businesses with it, talking about it, sharing with their followers. And that is what leads towards the greed and delusion phase in the coming weeks and months ahead. So let's look at some headlines. Coinbase is getting a green light from SEC for a direct listing on the NASDAQ. So this is set to happen on April 14th. That's literally in 11 days from now. So that's going to be a huge piece of news. Coinbase, a direct listing on the NASDAQ. Obviously, that's going to get a lot more attention to crypto. It's going to be spread around on the news. And again, that's going to just continue to fuel the bull run, in my opinion. So then we have Morgan Stanley files to add Bitcoin exposure across a dozen institutional funds. This is huge, guys. Banks, one of the biggest investment banks over here, they're getting into crypto. They're adding it to funds, right? Institutional funds. So this is huge, and this is just happening April 1st. I'm guessing this is not an April Fool's joke, but you can see it over and over again. Okay, Goldman Sachs is close to offering Bitcoin and other digital assets to wealth management clients, right? So we're starting to see the banks, the investment banks, the people who said that Bitcoin was a scam and a fraud and that it's not going anywhere. They are now getting involved and they are starting to offer it, right? PayPal, they've already integrated crypto for their users, but now they are launching a crypto checkout service saying that it has allowed US consumers to start to use their crypto holdings and pay at millions of online merchants globally. Right? So the adoption is just getting started, and we have the big boys, the powerful players from the traditional finance world who are now starting to promote Bitcoin and crypto to all their tens of millions, hundreds of millions of customers and followers. And this, in my opinion, is really just the beginning of crypto going mainstream. Then we have Visa, okay? They're going to allow payment settlements using crypto. How crazy is that? Visa, everyone knows Visa, right? We use it every single day. Visa is now going to allow crypto. So this whole talk for many years that Bitcoin was the fiat killer and the bank killer and all this kind of stuff is now, it's actually not true, because the existing financial companies are simply just embracing Bitcoin and blockchain and bringing that on to their existing infrastructure, which in my opinion is the right move to do business-wise, because otherwise they're going to get left behind, right? So now they're offering it, they're going to bring it to even more people, creates a snowball effect, more people know about crypto, they're going to start buying it, the space grows because there's more investment, there's more opportunity. So really, I think this is just going to get much, much bigger over the coming years. You can see over here, Crypto.com and Visa successfully conducted the first settlement of transactions using the USDC, so the US dollar coin. Huge news, guys. Silvergate brings on Fidelity Digital Assets as a custodian for its Bitcoin collateralized loans. Okay, so it just keeps on going. Governments are looking to buy Bitcoin. NYDIG CEO confirms sovereign wealth funds may soon become the next major investors to enter the Bitcoin scene. And then on top of that, we have talks about another $2 trillion stimulus package on top of the most recent one that might be being released in April. So money printers continue to operate at full speed. It's trillions and trillions and trillions. It's not going to stop anytime soon. So again, the more money that's being printed and the more fiat currency that's being printed, the more the purchasing power devalues, the more that people realize, hey, we need something else instead of our fiat currency, the more money is likely to flow into Bitcoin and of course other assets, real estate, stocks, that kind of thing. But, just putting all of this together, we can see there's still an argument that crypto is going to get a lot bigger, prices are going to go a lot higher, and we're going to still get hundreds of millions of people who are going to enter the crypto space. Now the question, of course, is going to be, is that going to be one smooth ride up or not? And the answer is more than likely no, right? It's probably not going to just continue going from here to $1 million per Bitcoin, right? And it might not even happen this cycle in one smooth run. It is very possible that we get a peak sometime this year, and then again get maybe multiple months or a year or two of consolidation or sideways action as the space continues to grow and mature. And maybe this whole idea of getting to a 10 trillion or $20 trillion market cap for crypto, maybe it's going to take another 4 years or another 6 years, right? It is completely possible. So that is where the danger lies if you are heavily invested. Look, if you got a small percentage invested in crypto and you want to hold some of the top blue chip coins, some Bitcoin, some Ethereum, and you're okay to ride the dips up and down, and you're saying, I'm going to hold this for the next 5 to 10 years, doesn't matter if I'm going to get a 50% drawdown at some point, that's a different strategy. But there's a lot of people who are trying to run this bull run up. They have invested more than they can afford to lose, which is something that you shouldn't do, guys. You got to be careful. And it is entirely possible, like I said, at some point we get a 50 to 80% correction, maybe even more. And if you are too over leveraged or overexposed, that's going to be brutal for you. So always just try and manage your risk and try and be careful with that. That is the point of why I'm making these videos, to try and help you, warn you, and try and kind of guide you. And obviously I'm not a financial advisor, I'm just sharing my opinion, my insights with you guys. You have to make your own choices, but just looking at everything here, this is what I'm seeing. Okay, so this is also the crypto market cap as a whole. It's a little bit different to CoinGecko. CoinGecko is almost a 2 trillion. This is saying 1.88 trillion. But either way, we are close to the $2 trillion level. And you can see over here, this was the all-time high for crypto as a market cap in the previous bull run. It was about 760, depending on which info you use. It was 850, whether it's whatever. But basically, we are now more than 2x the previous all-time high. How high are we going? I don't know, right? There's people talking about $5 to $10 trillion for this bull run. Now, that would obviously be insane. 10 trillion is all the way up here. It would have to have an insane run or inflow of fiat currency to be able to get to 10 trillion. I don't know if it's possible this cycle, but 5 trillion might not be as crazy as it sounds, right? That's a 2.5x from here roughly. And if we're gonna see crazy amounts of funds, maybe sovereign funds, companies start buying Bitcoin and crypto, who knows? I think it's still possible that we do still get a bunch of upside. So this chart still shows potential for upside in my opinion. Then we have this, which is the total crypto market cap excluding Bitcoin, so only the altcoin market cap. You can see over here, the previous all-time high in 2017 was 475 billion. We are not even 2x the previous all-time high. So altcoins still have a huge amount of potential, in my opinion. I think we're going to get a huge run in alts sometime this year, maybe in the next couple weeks, but again, maybe closer towards the end of the year. Don't really know, but I do suspect that altcoins as a whole, as a market cap, still have further upside to go. So we want to keep an eye on that. And then lastly, to back up that statement that I think altcoins have a lot more to go, the Bitcoin dominance, I've been sharing this chart for months, exactly like it is. The two vertical lines are the previous halvings. Over here, this big box was the massive altcoin season at the end of the previous bull run from December 2017 to January 2018. This big sell-off, that is what we want to see on the Bitcoin dominance, because when that happens, altcoins go crazy and the ROI on altcoins is going to be absolutely nuts. That's when we're talking 10x, 20x, 50x on altcoins in a matter of a few weeks. Now, you can see it was trending above that, broke down below it. We did a retest with a double top, and this arrow has been here for a long time. You'll see it on my previous charts also whenever I share this, is we had the sell-off. Now, the level we want to get under for altcoins to start moving is, I think, if we get below this level, so below 57, previous low here, if we get below that, I think we can really start to see some moves. And whether it's going to be whether it's going to be a straight line down or not, I don't know, right? So it could definitely do something like this, bounce up, maybe do something like this. It's all completely possible, but you can see the end of the year is somewhere over here. So there's plenty of potential time-wise for this to still go below, and I do think at some point we are going to get into this level. So let me draw this. I think at some point we are going to get into this level over here, whether that's going to be soon, you know, and it's going to be in May, or whether it's going to be more towards the end of the year. But I do suspect sometime we are going to get into this level, and that would be the crazy altcoin run. And at that point, we're probably in the greed delusion phase, new paradigm phase for the sentiment. And at that point, it's time to really remove initial capital, take profits, reduce positions, maybe even get out entirely, and see what happens to the market as a whole. So what do you think? Do we still have further to go for this bull run? Leave a comment below. I will answer it personally. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell, smash the like button, turn the thumbs up blue. It really helps the channel. And if you want to get on my email list, again, sign up for my free masterclass, first link in the description. Then you will get continued updates whenever I upload a video. I'll just send you an email with that. And of course, as signing up, you also get access to the crypto masterclass. That's an hour-long presentation showing you how you can best take advantage of this crypto bull run as best as possible. I share with you my top 3 coins that I'm personally betting big on for this year, and I share with you how you can join my intelligent cryptocurrency community and membership. Basically, it's an all-in-one membership where you have access to courses, training, tutorial, a monthly newsletter that I write with at least one coin that I think has upside potential. I share my research, my insights. I share my own buy and sell movements with members in real time. And of course, we have a private Discord chat group, so all of us are in there. There's over 500 people from all around the world. We're all sharing insights into coins, ideas, helping each other out. You can get your questions answered in real time. We're talking about exit strategies, we're talking about new potential profit opportunities. All of that is in there. So again, if you want to join intelligent cryptocurrency, you'll get all that info. All you need to do is just sign up for my free masterclass, first link in the description, and have an awesome weekend. I will see you in the next video. Peace.